Think is made possible in part by Dell Services. Dell Services develops and delivers a comprehensive suite of IT and application services, business process solutions, and consulting services designed to help customers succeed. For more information, you can visit dell.com/services. By Southwest Securities, a nationally recognized regional brokerage firm that's been meeting the needs of Southwest investors for more than 30 years. Southwest Securities is a member of the New York Stock Exchange and SIPC. By the Executive Education Center at the University of Texas at Dallas, providing degree and non-degree programs to help corporate professionals and executives stay ahead. On the web at som.utdallas.edu/executive. And by the valued support of KERA members. Thank you.
Welcome to Think on KERA. I'm Krys Boyd. What did it take for Ebby Halliday to build one of the country's largest real estate agencies, starting at a time when selling houses was assumed to be men's work? Halliday got her start in sales when she was still in grade school, selling hand salve to farm wives from the back of her pony. Today, her firm has a national reputation, and Halliday herself is known for her philanthropy, her kindness to employees and customers alike, and for the fact that she still puts in a full day every day at her headquarters at the age of 99. Her 100th birthday, which falls on March 9th, has inspired a number of very large celebrations, which are also fundraisers for some of the causes she holds dear. Ebby, welcome to Think. Let me ask you this. Have you always been someone who didn't mind that people knew her age? Was there a time when you didn't like to tell your age?
When I hit 80, I was proud of the fact that I had lived so long. But subsequent years required an awful lot of maintenance. And,
when you started out, you sold salve when you were a kid, and then you sold hats. Is a good salesperson able to sell pretty much anything?
The principles of salesmanship are the same no matter the product. Of course, you have to know the product, but the principles of salesmanship are the same. You have to be interested in the client and in their needs, and be believable that you are interested in their interests and their desires and their capabilities for payment.
It was when you were selling hats that you got the name that you have today. Why does Ebby Halliday suit you better than the name you were born with?
Well, I was transferred here by a national company, and it was early on in Kansas City with the same company that the manager said, Vera Lucille Co. will never get you anywhere. Let's change your name.
It was no small thing at the time that you did it to move, for a young, unmarried woman to move all around the country for her career. Did you feel like a pioneer? You must have been different from a lot of the girls you grew up with.
I developed my work habits in the worst depression that our country has experienced in the 30s. And it was a natural thing for me to work because I was reared on a farm, and we did chores before school and after school, and I've shocked many shocks of wheat. We had a wheat farm, and it was just a natural thing I grew up with, that everyone did his share of the chores.
Were you happy to leave the farm?
Yes, I was happy to leave the farm, and now I'm happy to get back occasionally on a farm.
What was Dallas like when you moved here in 1938?
I was transferred here in 1938, just 2 years after the centennial.
Sure.
Our state, and big name bands were still playing at the old Baker and the Adolphus hotels, and the mayor had declared an end to the Depression, and there was a positive air and a can-do air about Dallas that has made it surpass New York in the number of headquarter companies. So I'm not the only one that was sold on Dallas.
And that includes your companies. Now, you actually owned your own hat shop before you went into real estate.
Yes.
You had to save up a lot of money to do that.
I was able to save $1,000 after 7 years in 3 cities with the millinery company. And I had to have my tonsils out, which took a little chunk of that 1,000. But while I was practically under the knife, I noticed that the nurse was bringing information on the stock market to Dr. John McLaurin. And when I got my voice back, I said, ask Dr. John for his information on the stock market, the fact that I had saved money and always wanted to go in business for myself. And he said, I don't advise women. And I said, why? He said, if they lose, they cry. So I said, you try me. So he advised cotton futures. And of course, cotton was king in those days. And it didn't take me long to parlay it up to 12,000. And the rezoning was being done in Dallas at that time, and Fairmount Street was one of the first that was changed into shops and offices. So I leased a big Victorian, the front space in a big Victorian house. And Ebby's Hats was founded. It didn't take me long to, since I brought some of my customers and my designer with me, it didn't take long until one of my customers had brought a message from her husband that if she could sell my wife those crazy hats. Maybe she could sell his crazy houses. And he had developed the old Walnut Hill golf course and had invested in a new type construction that were well built but very unattractive. And I took a look at them and saw what they needed was some of the cement covered up and staged few of the houses.
Before anybody knew what that was, right?
That's right. And I sold my little shop to my designer and headed for Walnut Hills and sold all those houses within 1 year's time. And my second inventory was across Marsh Lane and proper little houses, brick and brick trim frames. And the prices were right on both inventories. The cement houses were $7,000 for the 2-bedroom and $3,000 for the 3.
We should be so lucky today to have those prices. Some of those houses, I understand, still stand.
Oh yes, they still stand, and we're selling them for a great deal more.
I guess a lot of the owners are not still with us, and I want to talk a little bit about your longevity. You've said that you don't smoke, you don't drink, and you don't retire.
That's right. When you found your own company, you retire when you want to.
And you never want to?
No.
What do you gain from still working? You have the money to retire. What do you love about going into the office?
Well, I want to leave my company to some of the management that built it, and therefore I want to leave it in as good shape as possible. And in 65 years, we've done some downturns, and the first year we made money, I bonused it all out to the agents and had to go to the bank to borrow some money to operate on because we had a downturn in the market. And the banker asked, "Ms. Halliday, what is your collateral?" And I said, "You're looking at her." So I got the loan.
Did you set out from the beginning to particularly hire and promote women?
Pardon me?
Did you always think it was especially important to hire women and to promote women in your business?
Yes. And our agents, I'd like to make the point, are independent contractors, but we have a wonderful corporate building that is there for training and Ebbyizing the agents. We also have about 80 employees, managers and secretaries. And
when you talk about Ebbyizing, what's the best piece of advice you ever got?
remember that you are serving the customer and that they are impressed by words and knowledge that you speak, and how you look. We train our people to dress professionally, and how they feel in your presence.
There are lots of big parties coming up, still more for your birthday. Are you already making plans for your 101st birthday for next year?
Yes, there are a few things that are left undone, and I'm maintaining my health. I don't smoke and I don't drink, and I'm not planning on retiring until the Lord calls me.
Well, we wouldn't let you. Thank you so much, Ebby, for being here. I really appreciate it.
I'd like to say something about Horatio Alger.
Of course, and this is the cause for which your birthday party is raising money.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was fortunate to be inducted into the Horatio Alger Association in 2005. And it is a wonderful organization in that it provides scholarships to needy and at-risk children. And the gala that includes my birthday is the scholarships that are raised remain in Texas and are to be named the Ebby Halliday scholarships, which pleases me very, very much.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid we're out of time, but that's wonderful, and we really appreciate what you've done for Dallas and having you on the show. Thank you so much. Just ahead on Think, Jerome Weeks talks to Ann Williams about her company, the Dallas Black Dance Theater. First, this week's arts calendar.
I'm Noah Fursala with your Art and Seek calendar highlights for this weekend. The Annie Leibovitz exhibit continues at the Women's Museum in Dallas. 27 portraits of famous and lesser-known women are on display, and the show was appropriately titled Women. Theater Arlington performs Disney's Beauty and the Beast Jr. The classic story follows a beast who tries to find love and is performed by an all-youth cast. The Out of the Loop Fringe Festival continues in Addison. Performances will run at the Theater and Conference Center and Stone Cottage Theater. And Sunday in Dallas, Texas Ballet Theater brings its mixed repertoire to the Winspear Opera House. The performance will include a world premiere choreographed by a company dancer. For these and other events, visit artandseek.org. For Art and Seek, I'm Noah Fursala.
I'm Jerome Weeks. How has Dallas' oldest continually operating professional dance company survived this long? The Dallas Black Dance Theater was founded in 1976, and it features works by such choreographers as Alvin Ailey, Donald McHale, and David Parsons. The modern dance troupe has performed at the Kennedy Center, the Lincoln Center, and has received grants from the National Endowment for the Arts. Ann Williams is the founder and artistic director of the Dallas Black Dance Theater. Ann, welcome to Think.
Thank you.
To be blunt, dance companies have had a very hard time in North Texas. Your company is entering its 35th year this year.
That's correct.
What's your secret?
Well, hard work and a wonderful staff, great board, community support, and first and foremost, great dancers. We have an opportunity to audition dancers each year, and we've been successful in getting great dancers and being able to get a good repertoire and produce.
Do you have any theories as to why it's been so hard here as opposed to other parts of the country?
Well, I think because here there are, other entities. Dallas is a cultural city, and so the support is divided. That's one of the reasons, and that's good too, but they struggle, we struggle, and but we all work together. I think the collaborations that are going on now are coming, about, and that's making a difference. But we're just coming into our own, so 35, that's our time. The company's been performing for more than 3 decades now, but it wasn't until 2008 that it had a permanent home for studios and offices. How has being in the Arts District affected the company? It's been a great support to what we do, Jerome, and where we are now. Having your own home, it's like stability. Before that we thought we were part of the homeless. We were here and we were there, and once we got a home and being in the Arts District, the Performing Arts Center, the AT&T Performing Arts Center, and that complex, and using the Wiley Center as our home, the D. and Charles Wiley Theater, it all has come together. And for our academy, that the home now houses the academy where we have over 300 students, so we are producing future dancers and serving the community very well. So it has really been a great success for us.
The Wiley was touted when it opened for its flexibility, its technology, and everything. Has that changed things for you?
No, it has not. And for the past 2 seasons, we have just really been doing the contemporary, forms. We are looking for the 35th anniversary to bring in some innovative performances and maybe to do some aerial things. So look for a little surprises.
It's also must be convenient. It's just across the street, more
Very
or less.
convenient. Our costumers said, well, we could just put things on the costume, just on the racks, and just roll them down the street. The dancers can walk from our building to theirs, to the theater, and it is convenient, very convenient.
What is the kind of interaction you have with Booker T. Washington, the arts magnate?
We've had a long relationship. In fact, we both were founded the same year. Booker T. Washington is also going to be celebrating its anniversary next year. And so our dancers we've always had dancers to come from Booker T. They come over for classes with Dallas Black Dance Theater in the afternoon. And of course, the professional workshops that we give in the summer, we offer scholarships to them, and the relationship has been very well. We go over and do a residency there, work with the teachers, and it's just been a wonderful opportunity for us.
In your repertoire over the years, you've performed specifically African dances, like the Ostrich by DeFlora.
Yes.
And you've performed expressly African-American dances using jazz and spirituals. Mm-hmm. But you've also done work by white choreographers.
That's true.
So you have this range. What leads you to select a particular work, saying that's for us?
I think I got that from a mentor of mine, Alvin Ailey, some time ago. He had an opportunity to visit with us when he was in Dallas, came out and taught a class. One of his dancers taught a class, and we sat and we talked about the company. And so I sort of took a range from his style and from his company, and that's what you generally do. One of the things that he told me, I do remember, and I'll always remember this, is that he said, you could never use a master choreographer can never be a master choreographer unless you start young. And so he said to always go and get the young choreographers and few them in, with the master choreographers. So I've done that, and as I travel around in New York, I see the different choreographers, and color has no bearing, to Dallas Black Dance Theater, because our audience is a very mixed audience, and also the company. It's we say Dallas Black Dance Theater, but we are a multi-ethnic company where we have dancers of other color. And so it's just natural that we do that. And one of the main things is that the dancers now that we get, they're trained, you know, not in all black schools. You know, they come from white schools as well as other, you know, schools. And so the repertoire and their training, so all of that in my head just makes for a better company.
Is there choreographers out there that you really still dream to work with?
There are, yes. I'd love to have Twyla Tharp. I'd love to have something from her. And kind of like down the punchline, I think we might, you know, get something like that. And but I'm looking at choreographers like that, and that would be a dream come true for Dallas Black Dance Theater.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck with your spring celebration and your coming 35th year.
Thank you so much for having us, and thanks for KERA for their support.
To see more about the Dallas Black Dance Theater, go to artandseek.org. Krys?
Thanks, Jerome. To access our free podcast, you can go to the Think page of KERA's website, kera.org/think. And we'd like to know your thoughts on the show as well. You can email us at think@kera.org. My name is Krys Boyd. Thanks for being with us, and have a great week.
To learn more, go to kera.org/think. Think is made possible in part by Dell Services. Dell Services develops and delivers a comprehensive suite of IT and application services, business process solutions, and consulting services designed to help customers succeed. For more information, you can visit dell.com/services. By Southwest Securities, a nationally recognized regional brokerage firm that's been meeting the needs of Southwest investors for more than 30 years. Southwest Securities is a member of the New York Stock Exchange and SIPC. By the Executive Education Center at the University of Texas at Dallas, providing degree and non-degree programs to help corporate professionals and executives stay ahead. On the web at som.utdallas.edu/executive. And by the valued support of KERA members. Thank you. Support for Art and Seek comes from Donna Wilhelm, the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation, the Robert Ted ENLOE Family Advised Fund, and KERA members. Visit artandseek.org.